A good friend of mine's passed today. A lot of people don't know how close me and Zuccarelli was, but we was really, really close. I'm gonna read this statement and then I'm gonna move on. I am extremely sad to learn about the sudden passing of Thornton Township Supervisor Frank M. Zuccarelli. This is a great loss to our community. Our thoughts and prayers are with his loved ones and family. As my mentor and my dear friend, I had a personal connection with his inspiration and goodwill. The best we can do to honor his memory is to continue to follow what he stood for. People working with people. He would truly be missed.
Hi you guys, welcome back. So that little snippet was of Tiffany Henyard giving her condolences about the former late supervisor Frank Zuccarelli, who had suddenly passed away. Now, while we can all agree that she was obviously saddened by his passing, there's always been something that's bothered me about her claims to have held him in high regard as a mentor to her. And I want to keep this as respectfully as possible when I say this, because whenever we're pulling someone into the conversation who has passed away, we always have to keep in mind that we can never talk for those who are not here anymore. So that's not what I'm doing. I'm giving my opinion about Tiffany Henyard and what she has said. So I just want to say that first of all. But like I was saying, we can all agree that she was obviously saddened. But let's talk about something in particular that she mentioned. And this is something she's mentioned on several different occasions. And that's the part about her regarding him as a mentor to her. Because in my opinion, when someone is a mentor to someone else, it means that that person has provided guidance, advice, feedback, and support to that mentee, as well as them serving as a role model, a teacher, counselor, advisor, advocate, and ally. And there's someone who provides that person with tools to be able to become a better version of themselves. Now, I think we can all agree by looking at the progression of Tiffany Henyard, okay, she is definitely not a better version of herself. I'm just gonna say it. That's my opinion. That's what I see. And I know a lot of other people see it that way. So let's get into the purpose of this video, as we are going to compare the former supervisor Frank Zuccarelli and hear out of his own mouth how he treated the township and his position and how he treated others. And then we are going to hear Tiffany Henyard out of her own mouth, how she treats the township, how she treats Dolton, and how she just treats people in general. Okay, and then we'll kind of come to our own conclusions about, did she really see him as a mentor that she claims? Because I personally, I would not want someone who acts like Tiffany Henyard to say that I was their mentor. Like, really, how's that gonna make me look? All right, I'm just saying. We're gonna get to this video, but before we do, if you're new here and you like what you hear, go ahead and leave this video a like. And if you're a returning subscriber to my first video in 2025, thank you guys for returning. And don't forget to leave this video a like as well. Let's get into this first example of why I personally feel like the word mentor was sorely misused, but rather she saw him as someone who could help her advance further in her political career.
Hi everybody, I'm sorry that you've been waiting. But usually if you're coming to meet me, everybody usually waits. But as I've said before, you know, my sister and my brother know that it was my mom's fault. Because she always wanted to make sure that everybody was here before she got started. So we always start late.
And oh yeah, one thing I really want to bring up. If I was late, one time it was an hour and a half late a few months ago, over half an hour late, even an hour and a half late, starting at 5:30. The meeting didn't start till almost 7 o'clock. I would at least offer an apology to the people that sat here and waited for the people down to show up and do what they do. I mean, you would think that you would get an apology, but again, you have to have a little class for that.
Hi everybody, I'm sorry that you've been waiting.
That's real.
Excuse me,
Can you all tell us if she's in the building?
They ain't gonna tell us.
She's in the building?
She's here.
Okay.
You know, this is such disrespect.
Yeah, it is.
Disregard. She don't care.
Would someone let her know we're waiting for her?
She knows. She know that she got a little. She definitely watching everybody.
The ones that told us we weren't gonna do it, we went right after them. We were gonna show, yeah, we were gonna do it. And we were successful because we always told the truth and we never lied. We always told the truth and we never lied.
Don't sit here and put negative or dishonest comments out about Thornton Township, because that's not true.
Because y'all all judging, meaning people out there are judging off of hearsay, false allegations, and not facts. Get facts first, and then make your judgment.
Let me tell you exactly why I don't trust the process since we talking about it. I didn't ask questions. I worked as your assistant. I saw a lot, heard a lot. You walk around as if you don't do anything, you don't make any decisions. And the first time I ever really questioned supporting this is when you went on this national platform and you said you didn't know anything about a foundation.
So this foundation was a cancer foundation that Tiffany Henyard started, but then she turned around and went on the Roland Martin show and on another podcast and said that she didn't start it, but what happened was that someone liked her so much, okay? You just can't make it up. She said someone liked her so much, so they wanted to use her name and her likeness, and so that's what they did. They started a foundation in her name. But when people started digging more into the charity and they found that there was a large donation given to the charity from Thornton Township, meaning the tax dollars, she went ahead and tried to distance herself away from her own charity. She says it's not her charity, but once again, we have found video that contradicts what she says.
I just want people to know that, hey, Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation is here. We will help anybody in need. It's not only just for Thornton Township. It's not only just for Dolton, but it's for the state of Illinois. Something else that I'm doing that I'm really, really big on, that's dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services.
Well, she sounded pretty clear and confident when she said she started the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
But you forget that I was in certain rooms when certain things happened. And the reason I don't support you is because you were not honest about that foundation. I was in the room when it started, and then you came to my house after that unannounced and tried to get me to say somebody else started that foundation that did it. And so again,
people said this, did this. You know what it is. You know exactly who did what.
You also you have a charity that from the Attorney General's office. I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation.
I don't know nothing about that.
WGN Investigates has learned nearly all of the money a South Suburban politician's cancer charity claims to have received in its first few months of activity came from taxpayers. It's the latest example of questionable spending by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as Thornton Township Supervisor. The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation was created in the fall of 2022 and heavily promoted by Henyard.
And I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I was appalled when they came out with this fake charity, because I know how it is when you're trying to look for help when you have cancer.
The township board she oversees gave the foundation $10,000 days after its creation. A new filing with the Illinois Attorney General says the foundation only raised $3,000 additional dollars.
And I just felt that was the lowest thing that she could ever do, is to go against people that are battling cancer.
WGN Investigates has previously reported thousands more dollars were charged to township credit cards during the charity's walk to Springfield. Henyard tried to distance herself from the foundation in a recent interview, claiming she had no involvement in the group's activities. The Attorney General has ordered the foundation to stop soliciting money because it still hasn't submitted tax filings to show how it spent money.
And I feel that they need to get that money back to the township. That was illegal, and that attorney that's sitting next to her allowed her to do that, the Delgado group, knowing that was illegal for them to be giving her private, fake charity money. We need our money back.
I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. So you just say my name.
You say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So when Tiffany Henyard says she's not on anything or her name isn't on anything, that means she can claim plausible deniability. And plausible deniability is the ability to deny knowledge or responsibility for actions taken by others, often by creating conditions that make it difficult to prove involvement.
Never be, when you start running for office, never be so excited that, hey, I'm the man. No, you're not. The people will tell you if you're the man or the lady.
That's what all the hate is all about. It's all about your super mayor became too powerful too quick. When y'all do know I am the first. I'm the first youngest female mayor. Female. So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. You ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. I am not your status quo. I'm so rare, so unique, and that's what everybody got a problem with. It's all about control. But I'll take it as flattery, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Next. Again, the first African-American female mayor here in the village of Dolton, making history. I'm basically fighting against the devil, the evil spirit. I'm the good spirit, they the evil spirit. Because this is why people come to board meetings, because you want to hear from your mayor, the chief, the one that actually run the day-to-day operation. Somebody that's healing y'all and helping y'all. Same thing I'm over here doing, right? Healing and helping. I am your leader. I am the one that won by 82%. I am the one that carry you, trustee Jason House, you, Kiana Belcher, that never wins anything, over the hump. Because at the end of the day, they talked about Jesus Christ. So why don't I think y'all are not gonna do me the same way? The world know who I am for that matter. Thank y'all, appreciate it.
I know there's a lot of people interested in run for office, and we want people that are interested in their community. We want you to run for office, but damn it, we want you to know what you're doing before you run, because once you get there, you gotta be in charge. And it's not as easy as you think it is. And but always understand that you have to be respectful to the people that elect you, and respectful to the people that are on your board with you, and respectful to the people that are on your board with you.
They cut one community, one. So what I'm saying to you is that the ones down there, why would they come and cut and y'all didn't pay them at the top? That makes no sense, trustee. No sense at all. Why would you not pay the vendor?
Don't let them go stand your ground.
Even without the toys being purchased, the bigger thing is the insurance. We don't have insurance. So let me be very clear. After this meeting, we still won't have certain types of insurances. So what if somebody's child, God forbid, swallows a ball or gets hurt by a toy? The township doesn't have coverage to even take care of that. We will not have insurance after this meeting. No liability, no auto insurance, and there are I think 3 or 4 other insurances that will not have. So again, we're talking about toys, but we need insurance, and then there are no insurance companies that are even willing to give us a quote.
Stop. Okay, all right, first and foremost, let me say that she sounds dumb. She has no way that she's You guys know we do have a scheduled board meeting today on the books, and we are all supposed to be here to make sure we take care of the business of the people. Unfortunately, the Board of Trustees, Chris, and also Carmen Carlier, Unfortunately, we cannot pay your bill or do anything to move forward because the Board of Trustees did not show up. And I just told you the 2 people that did show up, Carmen Carlier and also Gonzalez, Chris. Right now, we have residents that came here to get help with their light, their gas, their water, their mortgage, their rental assistance, things of that nature, and people have not showed up, meaning the trustees, Trustee Carlier and Trustee Gonzalez has not shown up. And I want to tell you how illegal and corrupt the 2 individuals are, Trustee Carmen Carlier and Trustee Chris Gonzalez. Voted for a forensic audit of Keith Freeman credit cards and also Carmen Carlier
credit cards.
I am seeking the removal of trustee Carmen Carlisle because she's a liar, and I'm also
My name is Carmen Carlisle. You need to get it right. Tiffany Henyard, the only person up here lying is you. You've been disrespectful and I've tolerated you. You got to order. You are disrespectful, but you got to order. My name is Carmen Carlisle. If you need to learn how to say your only supporter's name. Her name is Darlene Everett, not Everett.
So I just want you to know
I'm trying to say my name wrong.
both of them, and I will be in court to remove them for neglecting their duties as trustees.
People are so out of order, so disrespectful. You got to give respect in order to get it. Y'all have to do better, Trustee House. You can't want to lead people and can't lead, man. You got to do better. I keep telling you, just because you wear a suit don't make you suitable. Stop. You got to do better than what you're doing right now. And right now, you're doing is keeping up confusion, keeping up mess. Stop following blind. I keep telling y'all that. Educate yourself. Learn. But y'all won't. Everybody want to earn, but don't want to learn. Get a clue. Because right now, guys, you have been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been led astray. You've been all these things, and I'm trying to show you what it is that you're missing. Because people think that y'all gonna get away with all the defamation of character and all the negativity stuff. You've seen me do none of that to any of them. Know your place. Learn your seat. And that's the problem y'all got. Y'all overstep. That's why y'all keep losing. So that y'all keep losing. Y'all want us to have a bad image to the public that we don't pay our bills. That's the image y'all got out there. You should be ashamed of y'all. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So when you come for me, be prepared for the fight. It's a shame that you get up here in y'all grandstand and ain't developing nothing.
Sometimes we're going to disagree, and I wish we could agree on everything all the time. But that's pretty hard to do. But as long as you agree on it most of the time and don't do anything to hurt anybody.
That's my problem. Y'all have to do better, Trustee House. You can't want to lead people and can't lead, man. You got to do better. I keep telling you, just because you wear a suit don't make you suitable. Stop.
Sometimes we're going to disagree, and I wish we could agree on everything all the time.
This is a what? Electric warrant list. That means they did what? It's already spent. So how dare you get here and showboat for the people out there in the audience? You already know what it is. So why are we sitting here playing this game, wasting time, saying I'm gonna take this out, that out? It's already been paid.
They sit here and say, well, we want to remove this. We don't want to pay that. We already gave you our word when you came here and saw us, and we said we're going to pay your light bill. Then they'll get up here and say, well, we ain't voting to pay nothing. They did that before, and guess what I did? Still pay it. Because at the end of the day, that is solely the supervisor. I pay anything in GA. Like, stop. But we get up here and do this show because it's political theater for you guys. Okay? All right, go ahead and say what you're going to say. Let's vote.
And if we focus on transparency and accountability and less on bingo.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
We did the same thing last year. Last year, you all brought it to us, but you didn't bring it to a finance committee meeting. You didn't want to discuss it with the people, and we denied it. We said to you all then, hey, we are not approving this budget unless we go over it with the people, the residents. After you all decided, after we denied it, you all decided to let it go to a finance committee meeting. We approved it after everyone understood exactly what we approving. We're just saying, let's do the same thing this year. Take it to a finance committee meeting so it's all detailed and go forward with approving it.
Let's do that again. We've done that for the past 8 years. When you were a trustee, we would have to present the budget to the board. It wasn't on a meeting like this. It would be one meeting for the budget, and you went through every line. We're not doing that now.
Go ahead.
I just got a statement.
Go ahead.
Are we doing the budget soon so we don't have to go back and forth? That way we can budget for whatever the salary will be.
We probably will be starting budget this April.
Okay, I think we should do that because everybody's spending money tonight, and we should actually sit down and talk as a board, as a whole, get on one accord with the money and how to spend the money. Because right now, everybody got different opinions of how to spend it.
We're not saying we're against the budget. We're just saying be transparent with it.
So, as relates to us doing it the right way, I stand on transparency.
Just like you just said, you got donations for the basketball court. And if you got donations, how much are the donations? Because you're asking us to approve almost $20-something thousand for a basketball court that we didn't talk about. So if these donations came in, all we're doing is being transparent to say, well, how much donation did you get? Because we don't have that since it was donated.
Trustee, I got money for the basketball court.
Okay, how much?
I paid for the entire.
How much?
Hold on. I paid for the entire amount. That's
how much?
Whatever amount you say that I spent on this one, this is the amount that I got for the basketball court.
All right. Thank you. Well, how much donation did you get? Because we don't have that since it was donated.
Whatever amount you say that I spent on this one, this is the amount that I got. Because this is the way we provide for you with our surpluses. We're giving $2.2 million away because we have a $4.2 million surplus in GA. So we can do that. We can afford it. Did you know that we got surpluses of $5.4 million in the GA fund, 2.6, I believe, but I'm going to announce this in my report because I got it all written down. And we have it. We have over $4 million surplus in the GA fund. And news, I hope y'all get it and use this. We really have a surplus here at Thornton Township. We have to continue progress here in Thornton Township, which has a surplus, by the way, over $9 million. So I am so grateful to myself and to the board members that helped make that possible. A lot of people didn't know the township exists, and I'm just so happy to let people know the things that I am doing in the township, which we have a surplus of it. That's something that the news don't talk about, and that's why they fake, because they tell one-sided narratives. So I want people to know that when I became your supervisor, y'all had a deficit. We turned the township, and my team, my administration, turned the township into a surplus. And if you go and really pull the numbers, you will get the facts for yourself, but they don't talk about that.
Well, don't mind if I do, Tiffany. I am going to talk about it because you guys know, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know I'm going to pull those numbers and that I did a bit of research. And guess what I found out, you guys? I found out that Tiffany Henyard was telling another lie. Okay, so she claimed Thornton Township was in a deficit when she assumed office.
When I became your supervisor, y'all had a deficit.
When the real truth is that Frank Zuccarelli, who was a previous supervisor, died on January 3rd, 2022, just 2 months before Tiffany assumed office, which was March 3rd, 2022. But as we can clearly see from my little bit of research, on February 28th, 2022, the township already had a surplus of $2.2 million, or to be exact, $2,212,473 in a surplus. And yet we have Tiffany Henyard here claiming that there was a deficit when she got there.
Since taking over, we are in a surplus. That's what people fail to tell you. We are in a surplus, and we've been in a surplus for the last 2 years that I've been your supervisor. Prior to that, we had a deficit for over 10 years, just about.
So, since there was obviously a $2 million+ surplus, less than a month than when she got into office, what happened to that surplus? What I can see is not only did something happen to that surplus, but she's covering up more by saying they were in a deficit. So that money disappeared somehow if she's claiming it was a deficit. All right, you guys following me? And then now she's lying on top of that, saying there's all these surpluses. This is just my analysis of it. This is what I found. Okay. And I think the residents of that town need to do some digging as well and figure out what's really going on, because the number could be astronomical. Okay. She could have run this town into some real debt, because the budget for Thornton Township is way up there compared to Dolton. And we already know what she did to Dolton. She just ran it into the dirt. It's done. All right. They got a lot of recouping they have to do. But she had a lot of money to play with in Thornton Township, and she was able to do it for a while when she had basically the full board of trustees just giving her a rubber stamp on everything she wanted, until things start coming to light, until the FBI came in and people began to flip on her. So now that's like curved her spending But I have a feeling the damage is already done, and people are going to be so surprised when those numbers come out, at least in my opinion. And it's not going to be a good surprise, okay? It's just really not, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and move on with this video, because I have some examples ahead that will show you guys a little bit more on the differences between the former supervisor Frank Zuccarelli and Tiffany Henyard, and why Tiffany Henyard is not the kind of person that should be given any type of leadership positions.
The people will tell you if you're the man or the lady, and if you're not, they'll let you know pretty quick.
I get tired of hearing this every day. Every day I see something on the news about Dalton and about you. You have no respect. This young lady right here should be called by her name. They got all sort of names for you. They got more names for you than they do for her. And you should be ashamed of yourself. And I've talked to you once before. I told you, you think you can say whatever you want to say, and you think you will get away with it. You and I had that conversation. And you still acting like a little girl. And I don't understand. You talk about seniors loving you. I had a lot of respect for you. I was looking forward for good things from you. In the long run, you have made me feel like an unhappy parent. You should be ashamed of yourself.
My mic is not muted. I'm gonna keep it calm today so they won't mute me. This is ridiculous. I'm disabled, Tiffany. Why am I being pushed, and why am I being standing outside for over an hour for a meeting that's supposed to start earlier? This is ridiculous. You should have let us in. There's no threats out here today. Now what's the excuse? Do you have an excuse? Your excuse should be that you're stepping down as a mayor, because you're a poor excuse for a mayor. Before I got muted last time, I did have a couple things that I wanted to address to this board. All of y'all need to step down and quit. Keith is a criminal. Stacy is a criminal. You a criminal. You going to jail. The FBI came and raided this place. You can keep lying on TikTok and everything else and saying you ain't get raided, but you did get raided. But I got 3 minutes, right? I got 3 minutes. You see my hair? For the wigs that you promised you was gonna buy people in this township? Did you see this? Do you see this? You want to ignore me, right? All these victims out here, not victims, survivors. They're all surviving Henyard. That's the new thing, surviving Henyard. This administration is shameful.
Good evening, everyone. Board of Trustees, the four of you. I've been wanting to say this because you've always said, let me educate y'all. Let me educate y'all. You know, and it's insulting. I mean, what are your credentials? You don't have the wherewithal to educate a preschooler, and you're trying to educate us who have degrees and other things. I mean, it is insane. Please retire that. You're not accountable. You don't respect people that have a different opinion or opinion that goes against yours. You're not qualified at this point. You're not qualified for that seat for various reasons. We're not even going to talk about like the grammar. I mean, that's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. But I need to know why we trying to buy property and we don't even know what's going on with our money. Are y'all trying to cover up the houses y'all done gave away to people? You know, we tired of paying for your makeup artists and your stylists. We tired of that. We shouldn't be paying for that. You get enough money from the township to pay for your own makeup and your own stylist. Why would you think that the residents have to pay for that? And that lawyer, he done used us. He driving in his Bentley. He laughing at us. He done took, he done with us now. He got the bags now. He ain't worried. Y'all all need to be concerned up there, because you know what? Y'all getting RICO charges. Y'all getting RICO charges because y'all have conspired to lie to the residents. You all have been stealing property, that property that's built on that corner. Mayor, you so silly. You didn't even have the nerve enough to bring it to the board, bring it to the citizens. You didn't even make sure that the town, some of the residents got the jobs over there on that construction site. But you know why? Because you doing pay to play, baby. They paying you. That's why you're doing pay to play. The reason the business people didn't get their business license, because they wouldn't pay to play with you.
Don't let it all go to your head. Understand something. We are your servants. I believe that more than anything in the whole world, and I love what I'm doing. Sometimes we're going to disagree, And I wish we could agree on everything all the time, but that's pretty hard to do. But as long as you agree on it most of the time and don't do anything to hurt anybody, I think that's the most important thing. And we've been able to get everybody in our community to like us because we like everybody in our community. The more people we got to meet, the more people we liked.
Well, you guys, that's going to be it for this video. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.